metals, Harold, in a portfolio are imperative, and it's something that this trade is going to last for quite some time.
You bet, because again, the fact is that it's a different market than it was back in 79 and 80 when you had a lot of, speculators in the market. Now you've got a lot of the funds that are in the market. And basically, where you get these Wall Street guys that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about when it comes to commodities or gold. In fact, where were they 10 years ago when gold was at $250? Those were the ones that poo-pooed everything, laughed at us, and said that there's no way that gold is ever going to run again. And look at it now. It's hitting record prices every day. In fact, as we're taping the show right now, silver has just broke out, and we just broke above the $39 level. We hit $39.03. We're up 70 cents. Gold is now above $15.91. We're up $1.70. We should get through $1,600 gold next week. We should get through $42 to $44 silver over the next week and a half to 2 weeks. And again, there is no doubt as we head into the latter part of the year that silver is going to take off, retest that $50 level, and once it breaks it, watch out, Katie, bar the door. That market's going to $55 to $65 very, very quickly.
The telephone number to invest in precious metals, 1-866-623-2002. The website, wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. The telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. It was interesting this week, and we have it in the newsletter. Jim Dines came out and predicted that silver will reach $300 to $500 an ounce. When asked about London whistleblower Maguire's comments about the tremendous amount of silver that will be taken out of the physical silver market to start the Pan-Asian exchange, which Harold touched on, we mentioned last week, he said, where will it, meaning silver, come from? There are very few independent silver mines in the world, most of it byproducts from lead and zinc, sometimes gold. What's going to happen to the silver price is it's going up, way up. All you have to do was close your eyes and hold it and shut your panicked membrane to all the fools who say it's too high. I tell you now that the price of silver is going far higher than anybody realizes. It's going far higher than 50. It's going to test 100 an ounce. And beyond that, somewhere between 300 and 500 an ounce. Believe it or not. He says, believe the unbelievable. And Harold, I do agree with him. I think, obviously, a long time ago, we thought that silver would do well. But due to the financial circumstances the world finds itself in, those numbers would not be surprising to me at all. No, because it could definitely hit, those type of numbers. Again, $100 and $200 silver is a tremendous price for that market. Obviously never seen anywhere close to those prices before, but there's a shortage of silver. There's no doubt about it. Bring on the Chinese exchange where they're buying physical silver like it's going out of style. There's no new mines that are opening up that are, producing any silver. In fact, most of it's a byproduct of zinc and a little bit of gold and some copper. But all in all, with the supply and demand situation and the general public not even in the market yet, there's no doubt in my mind that silver's going to at least 100, and my guess is $200 before this whole thing is over. So obviously being able to buy it at 40 is a phenomenal buy. The telephone number to invest in precious metals, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. King World News interviewed Ben Davies from Behind Capital this week, and he actually went out on a limb and said that we could see $2,000 gold by the end of the year. That's right, $2,000 gold by the end of the year. And one of the stories that caught my attention as well was the Swiss Parliament is going to discuss a gold franc as a parallel currency. The Swiss Parliament is expected later this year to discuss the creation of a gold franc as a parallel currency to the official Swiss franc. And that's something that they're going to be talking about here in the next little while over in Switzerland. And Harold, it does not surprise me at all that people are talking about it. And one of the other major stories of the week, and it didn't surprise me, Ben Bernanke was asked by Ron Paul. There is a congressional hearing, and Ben Bernanke was asked by Ron Paul, is gold money? And Ben Bernanke said no. Well, of course he's going to say no. He's in charge of running the fiat currency system. He's in charge of running the printing press. He's obviously going to downplay gold because if he says gold is money, then they're in really big trouble because the financial system that he's a part of and created could collapse completely, and it's already headed that way now. So I wasn't looking for any encouragement from him, but for the fact that he said gold was not money, it got a lot of people talking, and a lot of people believe that he is totally wrong. The truth is, gold and silver are money. They have been money and always will be money, and they cannot be created via a printing press that Ben Bernanke runs so well.
Well, the thing is that obviously he's not carrying any weight because right after his comments, gold hit record highs. So, again, there's not a lot of credibility there. Not a lot of people put any type of credibility in the Federal Reserve at this point here and what the U.S. government's doing because, unfortunately, everything's done out of desperation. The fact is that, as you said at the beginning of the show, the fact is that they're putting Band-Aids on open-heart surgery. All they're doing is prolonging the agony and dealing with the short term and not with the long term. If they were dealing with the long-term problems, they'd be raising interest rates like China and Canada is right now. So, we got to bite the bullet. The fact is that if the United States will keep interest rates at zero for the next 2 years until the problems are so huge and so insurmountable that then they're going to have to catch up and then they're going to have to raise interest rates because by that time inflation is going to be raging and the only thing they will be able to do is go into a defensive mode, but probably at that point it'll be with a different president. I don't think that everybody is so enthused as to the job that President Obama has done so far, and I would be surprised if he got back in. But meanwhile, any president coming in is going to inherit a tremendous amount of financial problems, and in my opinion, you need to bite the bullet. You need to address the inflation and not worry so much about the almighty stock market. The real estate market's already destroyed. It's not coming back for 5 years. I would bite the bullet. I would raise interest rates. I'd deal with the problems right now and get back to euphoria 4 or 5 years down the road. We have 5 years to make a ton of money. Again, the fundamentals for the hard asset markets, gold, silver, and diamonds, is the best that we've ever seen. Again, it's imperative that you do the right thing. So, number one, your quality of life is not affected in a negative way. And again, there's nothing wrong, even though the world economy is in dire straits, if we were smart enough to make the right financial moves, don't we deserve to make the money? Again, 90% of the money is made by 10% of the people. All Randy and I want is for our Canadian listeners to be in that 10%.
And I agree with Harold. We don't take any joy in what's happening in the world. What we do take joy in is people obviously protecting themselves and profiting from what's happening due to having the correct knowledge. And I was talking to our engineer, Mark, before the show, and he said people who have listened to Harold have done well. And I said, they have if they've actually taken the advice. Listening and doing something are two different things. So now's the time to pick up the phone, buy some precious metals, invest in precious metals. 1-866-623-2002. The telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002. You can get our free weekly newsletter from Worldwide as well. Going to come back and talk about diamonds. The Argyle Pink Diamond Tender is out. We'll talk about it as the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on July 15th, 2011. Our time, 9:07 Mountain, 11:07 Eastern. Our radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton, AM 640 in Toronto. If you ever miss a show, you can catch us archived on Harold's website, HESradio.com, HESradio.com, to invest in precious metals. And as we said off the top of the show, those that listen to us on a weekly basis, those that get our newsletter, what's been happening here recently with the sovereign debt crisis and what's been happening in the United States with the debt ceiling and budget talks, none of this has been a surprise to you. We were warning you months ago that there would be turmoil in the financial markets. To invest in precious metals, 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. The telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. On the diamond side of things, Harold's website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The telephone number, 1-800-432-1022 to connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. we have our featured diamond of the week. Just one look at this diamond, and you can tell that you have something very, very special. You can see it in the newsletter, the featured diamond section of Herald's website. This gorgeous 2-carat, round, brilliant, fancy, yellow, internally flawless diamond is a rare, beautiful diamond. Only one, this is amazing, only one diamond in 10 million is over 2 carats. That it truly, obviously, is rare, very, very rare, and it's also a round, brilliant cut, making it even rarer. Very seldom does a diamond like this become available, and Herald recommends that you take a long, hard look at this as a solid investment idea. Speak with Herald about the featured diamond. Connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022, and you can take a look at the diamond on the featured diamond of the week section on his website. In the news this week, RapNet from Rappaport coming out and saying their diamond index was up 7.4% in June of this year. Polished prices rose 34.3% for the first half of the year, and those are white diamonds they're talking about, so you can imagine what colored diamonds are doing. Also this week, Rio Tinto announced that the Argyle Pink Tender for 2011 is out. And Herald, they are going to be showcasing 55 pink diamonds. I'll let you talk about it, but the Pink Tender is back, and it is very exciting.
Oh, you better believe it. I'm so excited. This is actually one of my favorite times of year because the Argyle Pink Tender comes out, and it's a real special event because Argyle produces the most beautiful pink diamonds in the world. In fact, the Argyle mine in Western Australia produces 95% of the pink diamonds in the world, which is a very, very small number. If you held your hand out and they poured the entire year's production into your hand, it would barely cover the palm of your hand. There's basically only 200 carats available a year. And basically, what they do is they pick the top 55 diamonds and then take them on tour to 6 different cities around the world. These diamonds are very special. They're very valuable. They are the most outrageous diamonds you've ever seen and some of the best investment diamonds in the world. And basically, you get one bid on these diamonds, and these diamonds are normally sold, to very, very high-end dealers and jewelers who put them into extremely high levels of diamond jewelry. And again, these are just showpieces. They're absolute masterpieces. And again, the Argyle Tender is starting, and again, it's a very, very exciting time. But what Randy did bring up is that we're in the stages of a massive bull market in diamonds. Even white diamonds are going up in price, and that's synonymous with what happened back in 79 and 80. Most people don't know what happened with diamonds back then because most people don't follow diamonds in that sense. Most people think of diamonds as, a beautiful piece of jewelry, something on your finger, when you get married or engaged type of thing. But diamonds have always been an amazing investment. In fact, back in 79 and 80, when we had extremely high inflation and world problems, and gold went to $850 and silver went to $50, do you know that diamonds, both white diamonds and colored diamonds, went up 500% at the same time that gold and silver were making those monumental moves? Now, the thing is that white diamonds made a huge move up 500%, so did colored diamonds, but then after the inflation started to subside, white diamonds crashed. They fell all the way back down to the prices that they were several years ago because there's so many white diamonds available. Basically, it takes 50,000 carats of white diamonds just to find one colored diamond. It takes 1 million carats of white diamonds just to find one pink diamond. That's how rare colored diamonds are. So when white diamonds plummeted, colored diamonds never did. They've never, ever gone down in value. They continue to go up, and they're one of the best hedges against inflation that you will ever see. The fact is they don't trade on exchanges, so you don't get the volatility that you get in the commodity markets. So the fact is that we are heading into the greatest 5 years that we have ever seen in the metals and in the diamond market. Now, there's 2 different types of diamonds that I want to recommend to you. First of all, there's many different types of diamonds, but I want to narrow it down to the best investments, and you do not have to be a multimillionaire to invest in the diamond market. First of all, the most expensive and rarest diamonds in the world are red diamonds. Back in 1950, you could have bought one for under $15,000. Today, they're worth about $2.5 million a carat. In fact, if you compare red diamonds to white diamonds, a 1 carat white diamond of good quality is about $2,500. A 1 carat red diamond is $2.5 million.